Hey gang, Devall here for ToyWorldOrder.com. You know, I'm a fan of those little lines that never quite survived at retail. The ones that never quite made it to the second series in the 80s, that have kind of faded into obscurity and, you know, still live on the internet and through collectors like myself, but no major toy company would ever take another jab at them. One of those toy lines is none other than Robo Force, in which the good guys were led by MAXX ZERO here, who unfortunately has seen better days. The bad guys were led by Hun-Dredd. They were just this great quirky line of robots, suction cups on their bottom. And look at that. How cool is that? They had these awesome arms that a button on the back you would squeeze and their arms would grab stuff. And, a fun little quirky toy line from the 80s that unfortunately, like I said, no major toy company would make a stab at it. Well, enter our good friends, ToyFinity.com, and enter a great toy format that is known as Glyos. And thanks to Dr. John Kent and ToyFinity, using the Glyos format, they have created none other than brand new Robo Force toys. And in my hand is none other than the leader, MAXX ZERO. You see, they couldn't call him Max Steel anymore because that's, well, look it up. It's silly. But MAXX ZERO now is a Glyos compatible, fully interchangeable Glyos figure that's compatible with other Glyos lines. And this is a spectacular relaunch to an amazingly quirky toy line. I'm going to give you a look at MAXX ZERO today and show you that not only can you make MAXX ZERO, but several other robots, as well as whatever your heart and imagination desire. So stick around, come with me, let's take a look. The awesome new MAXX ZERO from ToyFinity.com.
MAXX ZERO arrives in two separate bags, one containing the figure in the MAXX ZERO configuration, and the second featuring the parts you'll need to turn him into the Hun-Dredd configuration. Out of the bags, this guy is amazing. The construction of the Glyos parts here creates a nice solid figure. And of course, with the Glyos format, you get some nice range of movement in the arms and hands, which can swivel, turn, and rotate at the shoulders, arms, and hands. A MAXX breaks down into 27 different parts, which holds the record in my book at least of most Glyos parts used in a Glyos compatible figure. Well, at least out of all the figures I own anyway. Even both the front and back tip of his guns pop apart, which is amazing. And of course, since this figure is created using the Glyos format, he's super easy to reconfigure his parts and pieces to create not only MAXX ZERO here, but also the villain leader Hun-Dredd. And although not advertised, you can kind of create the enemy character. And yes, that was his name, just Enemy. The 80s were a clever time with toy names. You can also combine the parts included here and create whatever your imagination can create, like this awesome looking robot that I've dubbed Wall-E on steroids. You can do some cool stuff with MAXX. For instance, the tape treads that we use to create Hun-Dredd can also be used to create a pair of legs, which allow even more possibilities when posing, displaying, and playing. Now, this is one reboot that was well worth the wait, as it has been done with such love and care to the original designs, while reimagining some of the design elements due to the Glyos parts. I mean, while we couldn't have suction cup bottoms, we get in exchange one of the coolest looking Hun-Dredd designs I have ever seen. I mean, look at him, he rocks! And I love the head here. The lasers that normally hid beneath his faceplate on the toy here is a separate piece on the new Glyos figure, so you can actually display him with the head open or closed. And of course, when in MAXX mode, the eyes on MAXX here are a separate piece, which allow them free movement on the head disc. I seriously am super happy with this figure. I love that ToyFinity decided to use the Glyos format, which lends itself very well to this line, and also allows you to mix and match parts from the other Glyos compatible lines. I created this monstrosity. Isn't he special? I will call him Fred.
So there you go, guys, a look at the awesome ToyFinity.com relaunch of the Glyos format compatible Robo Force line, starting with MAXX ZERO. The cool thing about these figures, like I said, is they use the Glyos format. They're able to mix and match. You can pop them apart and reconfigure them however your imagination decides that you want. You can do whatever you want with these figures and create whatever you want with these toys, which is very cool. My only drawback and the only complaint that I had as a collector and as a fan was that they are solid color gray scheme with some black highlights. Now, I understand why, because as a small company like ToyFinity relaunching a toy line like Robo Force, that it's very hard to determine, yes, there's a huge fan base for it online, but will that fan base support a new toy line that does differ a little bit slightly from the original designs from Ideal? I would say yes, in fact, they would. ToyFinity.com is currently sold out of these. And doing color versions of these would have been super expensive, but they sold out of these on ToyFinity.com in 3 minutes. So I would say that the fan support is there for these amazing little Glyos compatible formatted figures. But that's my only complaint, my only gripe is that they're solid color. But small issue, when you get one of these in your hand and start playing with it, I literally have not been able to put this thing down in days. It is just an amazing, awesome little Glyos compatible figure. I just cannot say enough good things about this toy line. Now, as I said, they sold out in 3 minutes on ToyFinity.com on launch day. But don't worry, if you missed getting one of these in your hand, in December there will be new colorways, new colored versions of this same exact figure in different colored plastic that will be sold on ToyFinity.com. So make sure you bookmark ToyFinity so you can keep up to date on the news and follow ToyFinity and John's blog there to kind of keep abreast of what's happening with these toys, as well as some of the other brands like Mortals, Manglores, which he hasn't said anything about yet, but they're coming. Make sure you do that. Make sure you pick these up. For those that want just this version, John has said there is a possibility that these will be reissued in 2014 in the same color. So there is a chance you'll be able to get a hold of one of a reissue of the original colorway sometime next year. So plus, he said that if the fan support continues on this line, which a 3-minute sellout on the first release, I would say probably, we will eventually get full colored versions of these characters, whether they be MAXX ZERO or Hun-Dredd. We will eventually get those. So make sure you continue to support this line. Make sure you go to ToyFinity.com to check out all the news and great stuff that he's got coming there in the future. So there you go, guys. I'm going to go play with MAXX ZERO here, maybe turning back into Hun-Dredd, because that's an awesome form. Maybe make some other stuff with some of my other Glyos figures. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. But eventually, he's going to go on a shelf looking just like this as MAXX ZERO. I hope to get another one day to make a Hun-Dredd. And as they come out, I will continue to support this line. So I say, if you like this review, if you liked what you saw, and if you love Glyos like we love Glyos here on ToyWorldOrder.com, support this line, because this is one of those companies that I cannot stress enough, get behind, because there's some great stuff coming in the future that you do not want to miss. So until then, gang, take care. I'm going to take big brother and little brother here and go fight Hun-Dredd in the masses. See you later, guys.